Now, I did a short about this a couple days ago, but there was still a lot of things I wanted to talk about Warhammer's this edition's endgame campaign, and that is going to be called 500 Worlds. And basically, for those who don't know, this was the end narrative campaign for 10th edition, and what that means going into 11th edition. Now, we won't know what that is because I think it starts next year, but basically the overview is Gilliman has personally tasked Dimitri and Titus from the Space Marine games as he's basically reinstated him as captain of Second Company and has made him warden of Ultramar and has given him the task to help retake the Ultramar system, all 500 worlds. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, the Ultramar system's kind of good, right? After the Plague Wars, after Gilliman and defeated Mortarion, kind of. It was really the Emperor. We don't talk about that. It's good. The Ultramar system's good now. No, it's not good. Yeah, those worlds that Gilliman retook during the Plague Wars is a start, but remember, it's 500 worlds. And a lot of them are still under attack by, chaos. There's a lot of them that were still reeling from what Mortarion did with the Death Guard. There's also the matter of the Pariah Nexus with the Necrons, and we'll talk about them in a second. But there's also a matter of Prince Uriel, looks like he's gonna play a big part in this, and other Xenos threats throughout the other 500 worlds. And Titus has been given the insurmountable task of helping to retake those 500 worlds. And somewhere, Leandros is just kind of sitting in the background like, know this, Titus. You may be Warden of Ultramar. You may have gained your title as captain again. And you may even be able to gain Gilliman's trust. But know this. I still hate your guts. Yeah. I still don't like you. Yeah, cry about it more, Leandros. I'm curious, what this is going to mean. What does this, narratively speaking, mean for the overarching game? What does this mean for the storyline? We're going to talk about some things that are teased, and as of this recording, they haven't been revealed by Games Workshop, so we don't really know. And I might do shorts talking about what happened to other characters, what happened Acheron. What happened to Acheron? Obviously, he was the captain of Second Company after Titus was taken out and put in the Death Watch, but he's no longer around. We don't know what happened to him. Is he dead? What also happened to Chiron? Yeah, what happened to Chiron? Is he dead too? We do see. Oh God, why am I? I'm forgetting his name. It's not Uriel. Uriel, also, he's gone MIA, and he was also kind of given the same task by Gilliman to help fight and take back a lot of the Ultramar system. So is he gone too? This has been a recurring thing with me, and one of my biggest problems with Games Workshop in general is that, narratively speaking, it feels like we're picking and choosing what we're doing here, and there's no set. The canon the canon gets rebooted so often, and also a lot of narratives feel like they get pushed to the wayside more often than not, and that's really bothersome. That's really it's just really annoying. You know what I mean? It just feels really annoying at the end of the day. But we'll probably get some answers about what happened to Acheron and Chiron very soon, I hope. So, what, narratively speaking, not game wise, but what in the universe does this mean for Titus? First off, Titus he's got some work cut out for him. Yeah, this is not going to be easy in the slightest. He is going to be, shall we say, inundated with a lot of problems. I think it's going to be fascinating because we also know that there is a Necron dynasty out there trying to recover the Nightbringer, which is one of the most powerful Catan shards out there. The Nightbringer is literally death incarnate. And it does look like we're building up to now Ultramarines going to war directly with the Necron dynasties. And it's also been rumored that Trazyn is going to have a hand in this, which, being a Trazyn fan that I am, that's going to be really cool to see. But I wonder what Trazyn, if Trazyn is here, what does that mean? Whose side is he playing on? Obviously Trazyn's side. But I wonder if this is going to actually, because remember, Trazyn has said that he claims to be friends with Guilliman. He has claimed that he and Guilliman are friends. Personally, I don't think he's telling the full truth. I think what happened is that he and Guilliman encountered each other during the Horus Heresy, and Trazyn inadvertently saved him from a assassination attempt by the Alpha League. Remember, that was an important moment where we don't know how Guilliman survived Alpharius or Omegon's ambush for him during the Scouring. So we don't know the full story of that ambush. So could it be that Guilliman was rescued inadvertently by Trazyn, who in turn, not only because he does have Horus Heresy era Ultramarines in his collection. Where do you think he got them from? So probably what it was Trazyn just inadvertently saved him and took some Ultramarines as a thank you. It's like, but you didn't do anything and give me back my Ultramarines. No. So it could easily be that. The other thing that looks like it's going to play a big role in this is Prince Uriel. Remember, the Pirate Eldar Prince. It looks like he's going to be doing more raids deeper into the Ultramar system. How is this going to affect the tenuous, I should say, alliance between Yvraine, Eldrad, and Guilliman? Who knows? Uriel's kind of been doing his own thing for a while, and they've also been I feel like they've been pushing away from the Eldar Ultramarine alliance, but we'll see where that goes. Speaking of raiders, another big villain, and this could be the big overarching villain of the storyline. Like, this really could be the big major villain of this 500 World storyline. Huron Blackheart is apparently going to play a big role in this storyline. Not confirmed, but that's the big belief. Huron Blackheart has been really teased as like another major villain, him and the Red Corsairs. I would thoroughly believe that Blackheart would make a great adversary for Titus. Like, him and Titus, that would be a great juxtaposition to Titus. This overarching villain who's been going on raids deeper and deeper into the Ultramar system, and also, as a Chaos worshiper, and someone who would probably look at Titus and go, so this is the guy who resisted the taint of Chaos twice? Let's see if we can do it 3 times. So, I know a lot of people have been wanting Huron Blackheart back, and the Red Corsairs on a whole, so it would make a lot of sense that Blackheart and the Red Corsairs would more than likely be like it, and we got a slob on the Chaos knob over at Games Workshop, right? Because God forbid we have a Xenos faction be a major villain outside of the Tyranids. And yeah, you could say, but what about Pariah Nexus and this whole thing you just went on about with the Nightbringer? That's going to be tertiary, I guarantee you, the moment they bring in Chaos. But yeah, but it does make sense. I will say that it does make sense to have Blackheart as like Titus's archenemy for this storyline, if that is the case. But it does seem really cool, and I am wondering how this is going to affect Space Marine 3. Is the events of Space Marine 3 going to explain Titus's reascension to captain of Second Company, or is this going to be part of the 500 World storyline? Who knows? I'm curious to know. I'm kind of leaning towards Space Marine 3 is going to be a prequel to 500 Worlds and explain him getting his becoming the Warden of Ultramar again. That's what I'm leaning towards for the narrative of Space Marine 3, that it's going to be a prequel to this storyline. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I'm personally more excited for more Necron stuff, especially if Trazyn's coming back. And yes, we're still on Primarch watch. We'll see on Christmas Day if they announce something, because I keep hearing I keep hearing rumors that we will be getting another Primarch drop like we did with Fulgrim, in the form of like another Primarch. It's now coming down to, it seems like it's coming down to one of these two choices of, if we get a Primarch back, it's going to be one or the other. It's either going to be Leman Russ or Perturabo. It's probably going to be one of those. It looks like it's going to be those two, and word bearer fans like Lorgar and Rogel Dorn. Sorry guys, but hey, if it is Perturabo, Rogel's not far behind then. But if it's Lehman, I wouldn't be shocked if it is gonna. I'm kind of leaning it is gonna be Lehman, but there is a lot of rumors that like a mechanical monstrosity is coming out of the warp. Now, a lot of people have pointed to maybe that is Perturabo, or it could be Vashtor finally ascending to be the 5th Chaos God. That's what I'm hoping for more, is that it's finally Vashtor ascending to the 5th Chaos God. That way we could, like, now that we have Age of Sigmar with 5 Chaos Gods, we can now have equal 5 in Warhammer 40k. Because I feel like that would be a solid change to the status quo, is to have finally a 5th Chaos God, and give the Iron Warriors fans, like, instead of Chaos Undivided, you now have your own Chaos God that they definitely worship. So, and then we can then you can have Perturabo back as like Vashtor's demon Primarch. But I personally think it's gonna be Russ. I really am feeling, and I'm not even a Lehman Russ fan, but I definitely feel like it's gonna be Lehman, because they did all those stuff for Space Wolves. I hear all these rumors about more expansion for the Space Wolves, and Space Wolves sell. Space Wolves are just boring to me. I'm sorry. If you are a Space Wolves fan, I got no problem with you. I just personally just do not care for the Space Wolves at all. So, yeah. I think it's going to be Lehman, but I also, again, we already had one, and also we had one Trader Primarch come back. Might as well have another one rather than back-to-back Trader Primarchs. Might as well have another Loyalist one. But, yeah, so I think it's either, but I think it is going to come down to those two. It's not going to be Lorgar or Rogel, like some other people have said, or Alfarius. I think it's either going to be Lehman or Perturabo. But anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this 500 Worlds campaign? Do you think Titus can take back the 500 Worlds? How do you think this will affect the story for Space Marine 3? Are you guys hoping for Trazyn? Do you guys want her on Blackheart as the main villain or part of the antagonists? And also, are you guys wondering what happened to Akron? Is he dead? Is he a dreadnought? Who knows? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.